Bitcoin maintaining yesterday's momentum with another breakout of the local highs. Can we sustain this or not? Well, I'll let you be the judge of that, but let me give you my take. So take a look at this on the Coinbase spot chart. As always, you can see we have broken the highs that we put in back on the 5th of January, and we've also broken the high that we put in back on the 9th of December. That means that we have confirmed the uptrend from these big local lows that we put in back towards the end of November. After that, absolutely massive record-breaking liquidation events. Of course, the uptrend is characterized by a series of high here, a higher low here, a just ever so slightly higher high here, another higher low here, and now we've just made another higher high once again today, just a few hours ago. And we're pulling back now, but I do like the place that we're starting to bounce from, because what we've done here from a structural perspective, from a technical perspective, is we have flipped former resistance up in this 94,600 zone. We've flipped that resistance into support, and you can see that we are now trading at about 95k on the nose, but we have come down a couple of times to tag this 94.5, 94,600 range. That is a bullish signal from a technical charting perspective. I don't really need this to stay above this level for very long for me to still feel good about the way that this structure is setting up, okay? Because these things tend to move a little bit slower than you necessarily want them to, and we can see that being reflected in the liquidation risk in the market. We can see that reflected in the leverage markets. Now, one thing to be aware of with this latest pump is, although yesterday's move, okay, we spoke about this in yesterday's video, it wasn't characterized, or it wasn't necessarily looking like it was being driven by leverage traders, right? People borrowing money to go and speculate on the market. It looked like it was being driven, in fact, by spot buying. Possibly a lot of that coming from MicroStrategy, big buys yesterday. Some of that also coming from some other institutional players buying big amounts of Bitcoin yesterday. But today's move does seem to have been leverage driven, and we can see this in the liquidation heat map on the market here on CoinGlass. Over the last 24 hours, $588 million worth of short positions liquidated. Now that number is objectively significant, okay? That's quite a lot more. Let me just scroll down a little bit here so you can see this. There you go, $588 million worth of short side liquidations. That is significant enough to make me raise my eyebrows just in isolation, but especially when you compare it to the long side of the market, okay, just $100 million worth. So about 6 times as many short positions were liquidated over the last 24 hours than long positions were liquidated. So when a short position becomes liquidated, in case you're not familiar yet, basically what that means is the exchange is forced to go out and buy Bitcoin to cover those shorts, because traders are speculating on the market going down. They are then found out to be absolutely wrong, and in order to balance that trade, the exchange must buy Bitcoin. So it is suddenly short-term demand increasing on the market. Supply and demand dynamics dictate that that means prices must go up. And you can get this snowballing effect where, because that made prices go up, there is still short positions in the market, prices higher above that, they then become liquidated, and so the loop continues. But where are we right now? So still quite clearly an imbalance of long side liquidation versus short side liquidation risk in the market. This means that once again the bulls are jumping in on these green candles. They're getting involved. So we can see on the long side about $3.18 billion worth of cumulative long side liquidation leverage versus just about $1.6 billion on the short side. If we zoom this out to the 30-day, we know what's going on there already. Okay, we can see a considerably higher amount of long side liquidation risk in the market versus short side liquidation risk in the market, excuse me. And this does make moves like the one we're seeing right now appear to be a little bit fragile, because if the prices pull back just a little bit and the bulls can't defend that, then we will get into those regions where we start liquidating long positions and potentially see the opposite of the effects that we've seen today. But nonetheless, I don't think this is something we have to be absolutely shocked about occurring just now. Okay, we've still set up for a more bullish market structure. This is definitely going to be attracting more eyes into the market. Clearly, it's attracting leverage into the market, but as we saw yesterday, still big spot buys occurring. we did also see, if I can just open up the right tab here, we did see yesterday on the 12th positive ETF inflows, $116 million. Today, sorry, on the 13th, $753 million net inflows. Okay, and that is, I would argue, a direct knock-on effect of potentially as a result of not just the market being up, but also MSCI no longer going to be excluding DATs from its indices, right? So we can see potentially impact and reaction, action and reaction from that. Okay, MSCI are no longer going to be banning DATs from their indices. That is obviously bullish news on the market, and we saw Michael Saylor go out and buy a load of Bitcoin. We saw some other big firms go out and buy a load of Bitcoin. We saw prices come up, and we see the ETFs reacting as well. We know the ETF flows can react a little bit similar to the way retail does, which isn't necessarily so strong, right? Doesn't point necessarily to strong demand, but nonetheless, this is buying on the market. This is bullish. The environment is also getting better and better, slowly but surely, right? We've got the White House confirming President Trump wants to remove tax on Bitcoin and crypto transactions. If this moves from rhetoric into law, here's what it means. Everyday BTC crypto payments become frictionless. No more tracking tiny taxable events on every swipe. Capital flows chase the friendliest jurisdiction. US competes with Dubai, Singapore, Hong Kong as the crypto capital of the world. It's just a tweet, right? It's just a step further, but once again, it's bullish news. Let's not be negative about bullish news, right? We also have steps coming forward in the Crypto Clarity Act. Now, I don't want to unpack the details of this too much. Suffice to say, this would improve the regulatory environment for crypto in the US. Now, there's a debate on exactly what that would look like and how friendly it would be, but my argument would be just having this in place, regardless of the exact details of that, as long as they're not massively prohibitively restrictive, would be a good thing for the markets, because it means suddenly companies have much more clarity, right, on what it is that they can actually do and not do, and what they're going to get into trouble for and what they're not going to get into trouble for. This has been delayed slightly. Okay, we thought we were going to get we thought we were going to get a markup session from the Senate on the 15th of January. That's now been pushed back to the 27th of January. Goldman Sachs thinks that this is a very bullish thing for the markets, right? Goldman Sachs just issued a huge 2026 crypto forecast as $200,000 Bitcoin price predicted by the bulls. But this is contingent on that Clarity Act, that Clarity Bill going through before the midterm elections in 2026, which means it's basically got to come through in the first part of 2026. Otherwise, it's going to be delayed. The can is going to be kicked down the road into 2027 because of the midterm elections. But the cogs are grinding. This is moving forward. Yes, we had some delays here, but it's not a massive delay, right? Senate crypto bill markup moved to January the 27th amid legislative push. And that is basically picking apart the details of what is actually contained in the bill. But there we go. In summary, breaking new all-time highs, maintaining market structure. Breaking local highs, market structure is being maintained. There's a lot of leverage interest on this move, which means that it is potentially a little bit fragile in the near term. But green shoots are green shoots, and we are clearly in an uptrend right now. I would say don't be surprised if we see a tumble down from here, but I wouldn't necessarily consider that a long-term bearish move by any means. But as always, that and everything I've said in this video is purely my opinion. I'm sharing it just for entertainment purposes. Thank you so much for watching. There is plenty more to come. Catch you in the next one. Bye.